Hello and welcome to another lesson of the TI-30XB student course. In this lesson we're going to be looking at continuing work with the data editor and using list formulas. And specifically in this lesson we're going to be looking at a linear equations example, which is related to an example we already looked at back when we were looking at the constant formula or K function on the calculator. So if you haven't listened to that lesson, I'd strongly recommend that you go and do that before you start this one. Okay, so the question we're going to be looking at today is, given we have the equation y equals 2x plus 3, we want to find what are the values of y when our x values are 1, 3 and negative 6. So we've already done this exact same question using that constant function, but we're going to try a different approach this time using our data in our list editor. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into the data menu. So just pressing that data button. And in our list one, we're going to enter the x values that we want to use in our question. So we're going to have in here, it was 1, 3, and negative 6. Okay, tabbing across, using your arrow keys to tab across onto list 2. We're just going to go into the data menu again. And this time I want to input a formula, which is going to be our linear formula that we had from before. Okay, so I'm going to use that arrow just to go across. And then number 1 here, add edit formula. So if I press enter on here, you'll notice that now in list 2, we've got that cross next to list 2. This is telling us that any formula we put in is going to be applied to the whole of list 2. Okay, so our linear relationship was 2x plus 3. So we're going to have in here 2. Now, instead of putting x, we're going to use list 1 because our x values that we're interested in are all those numbers into list 1. So we're going to use that data key again. And now we're going to choose again number 1, list 1 there. Okay, and then plus 3 on the end. Okay, pressing enter. And here you can see that that formula is now applied to each of those values. So when x is 1, 2 times 1 is 2, plus 3 gives us 5. When x is 3, 2 times 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9. And negative 6, 2 times negative 6 is negative 12, plus 3 gives us negative 9. So that formula will be applied to each of those values. And if we wanted to add in another one, we can do that as well. So say, for example, we also wanted to find what's y when x is 14. I can just input 14, and there you can see that continues to apply that formula to the next row down. Okay, to clear the lists now, again, back into data, clear, and because we've got values in both of those lists, we're going to go down to number 4 here, which is clear all. Now, using these list formulas can be a really useful tool, especially when you've got some more complicated formulas. So the constant function is a really great tool to use where you've got quite a simple equation, one that doesn't require too much kind of procedural BODMAS, and also where you're only kind of working with one variable because that's all it can handle at a time. However, using the list function can be really useful where you've got a more complicated equation or where you've got more than one variable that you're working with. So, for example, imagine that we have a few triangles that we're finding the area for, and we are going to go into area more in a later lesson. But we've got a couple of triangles, we're finding the area for them. So we've got a base and a height. So say our first triangle has a base of 6 and it's got a height of 8. Our second triangle has a base of 5 and a height of 12. And we've got a third triangle which has a base of 7 and a height of 15. Okay, so now if we wanted to work out the area of these triangles, we could go into our list 3, and again we're going to enter in a formula, and the formula for the area of a triangle, base times height divided by 2. So in our formula here, we can put in, again into our data, base in list 1 times by height in list 2 divided by 2, and enter, and there is our area for each of our triangles, so 24, 30 and 52.5. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this lesson and thank you for listening.